I'm Reina Weiner, the author of a new book called Strong from the Start, Raising Confident, Resilient Kids. And I wrote it to encourage parents to really trust themselves as parents, trusting their parenting skills and trusting their children's choices, so that your young children will become adults who are resourceful, resilient, and self-assured. I wrote the book because I wanted my kids to thrive without me. And that's a process that begins really early on when the kids are tiny, and you let them know from the beginning that you love them, you're there for them, you support them, and that they can figure it out, that I believe in you. That's really the message that I wanted to give them. And then this funny little thing happened when I was thinking about all of this, was a bird's nest ended up on my front door. And I watched the process from the mom putting the little egg in the nest, to the hatchlings, to the looking at them so frail and tiny, and then watching them as they became full feathered. And then one day, Mom said, guess what? It's time to go. And she flew back and forth, encouraged them to go. And at first they really wobbled, because it was a brand new skill for them. And then they flew off into the sky, which was such a metaphor for what I believed, because we never really think they're ready to go. You want to direct them. You want to set them on a particular path. But the problem with that is that that might not be the path that's right for them. That kids come, as I like to say, preloaded. They have their own likes, dislikes, talents, particular skills. They know where they want to go. And our role as parents is to allow them and to support their journey. Sometimes, though, if they're going in an opposite direction that we plan, that we think we have failed them. We haven't. What we have done is we have allowed them to pick a life and a path that really works for them. Sometimes it's hard to raise kids to be resilient and resourceful. It's hard for the kids, and it's also very hard for the parents. I can give you a little example of that. My son used to buy his lunch at school. My daughter used to make her lunch, and that was their choice. They could do either. But in order to buy his lunch at school, he had to remember to take his lunch money. And sometimes he would forget. And initially, I would run up to school, huffing and puffing, because, oh my gosh, my son was not going to eat his lunch, and that would be a terrible disaster, with his lunch money. And then I read this article by the late, great, really funny, and very intuitive Irma Bombeck, who said, don't run after the school bus. And I thought that information was directed at me. So I decided I wasn't going to do it anymore. And what did he do when he figured out he didn't have any money for lunch? Well, sometimes he would charm his friends and they would share his lunch, their lunch, with him. Other times he'd go to the school office and borrow the money. And then sometimes, which was always the worst for me, was when he went without his lunch. That your children are going to learn that mistakes happen, and that when they do, there are ways to figure out what to do next. They become problem solvers, they become decision makers. They have that inner confidence knowing, well, okay, if there's a bit of a fork in the road, I'm gonna know how to manage that. And they know that you also will always be there for them as their loving, supportive parent, should they ever need you. And that's something that they can hold on to for the rest of their days.